Welcome to the Catholic After Party, your place for post-church snack time conversation. I am Alessandro Adorante. Last week, we began Lent with huge festivals filled with pancakes and music. I've been eating pancakes on Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, or Shrove Tuesday my whole life, and I don't really know why we're celebrating. Luckily, I know someone who does. Hey, Father.
Hey, Alessandro.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So, why do we eat pancakes on Mardi Gras?
Well, basically the origins is it's getting rid of the things you weren't going to eat during Lent, right? So back in the day, we used to be a lot more hardcore about Lent. You know, for us nowadays, if you're a Latin Rite Catholic, you only have 2 days of fasting and abstinence. So that's Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. So if you're above the age of 15, the law of abstinence from meat or some other food stuff designated by the Bishops' Conference applies. And if you're between the ages of 19 and 59, then there's also the law of fast. So that means 1 full-size meal during the day, and you can have like 2 smaller meals that don't add up to 1 meal. It's just a way of observing this thing, but basically the point is that we only have 2 fast days, Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. People also do things Fridays during Lent, but there's actually nothing particular about Fridays during Lent. It's actually all Fridays are days of penance. So, but back in the day, people used to not eat any like animal products. So it's like butter, eggs, dairy, cheese, whatever, all these things, right? And so you didn't have refrigerators back then. So what happens if you got the stuff in your house and you're not eating it?
You need to eat it all.
Or it'd go bad, right? And
Yeah,
so they would make
makes
this stuff
sense.
and then also share it with people. Because I mean, that's what, being Christians, we should share what we have with others. And so it became also time to have some fun and celebration, because Lent is definitely a season of repentance and maybe a little more somber. So that's the origins of why it's called Fat Tuesday. Mardi Gras is simply French for Fat Tuesday. However, you also mentioned Shrove Tuesday. Do you know what the word shrove means?
No, I don't.
Okay. To be shriven means to be absolved. So it's kind of neat.
Really?
Yeah. So actually Shrove Tuesday, which most people don't observe it this way, at least not in my experience, people would go to confession to have a good start to their Lent. So they go get absolved on Tuesday, get your pancakes, and start Lent. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone's planning to make it available either. So that would be my special request. But anyways.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's something that really happens very often.
I mean, yeah, you can certainly, it doesn't have to be that Tuesday. It's like by that Tuesday, so people have, actually there was something called Shrove Tide. It was a whole week before Ash Wednesday. Where people take that time to kind of get their affairs in order, go to confession, and get ready and, eat up the eggs, butter, dairy, whatever, bacon, grease, lard, and get ready for Lent. So yeah,
that's my type of week.
There we go. Shrove Tide.
I like that week. Nothing better. It's kind of like Holy Week, how you have your times of feasting and your times of fasting.
Yeah. And that's a really beautiful thing, I think. Like if life is just one big party, then like there's nothing special about it. I think about like the movie The Incredibles, the villain, he's like, and when everyone's super, no one will be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's really cool that, we have fasting and then we have feasting, in the sense like it highlights the feast, the fact that we kind of fasted in preparation for it in a way that just celebrating all the time doesn't. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. Do you have any favorite Mardi Gras or Pancake Tuesday foods?
Mostly just pancakes.
Okay.
But I remember when I was a child, so in my elementary school, we learned a lot about Italian culture. And a lot of that was, especially around this time, was surrounding Carnevale, which I'm pretty sure is like a Mardi Gras.
Yeah, and do you know what that means?
In Italy.
Carnevale, do you know what that means?
Well, carne has something to do with meat.
And vale?
I don't know what the vale is.
Goodbye. It just means goodbye meat.
Really?
Yeah, so carnival is goodbye meat. So again, eating all the meat and whatever before you're going to abstain from it. Back then, they would have abstained it for the entire season of Lent, minus the Sundays.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's cool because like in Italy, I remember we learned about it. Our whole elementary school, they have like this essentially like comedy show that they have, like called the Commedia dell'arte.
Okay.
And it's essentially like there's a simple plot. There's like a character named Arlecchino, who's this poor dude from Bergamo And he has like this, essentially he's wearing patchwork. So all of his clothing is different colors. So they have like red patches, white patches, and they're all wearing masks. That's the big thing with this skit. They're all wearing masks. And his love interest is Colombina, and Colombina is a maid. And their whole bit is that Arlequino and Colombina are trying to they're like two lovers whose love is being hindered by the older dudes, the vecchi.
Because of social class.
Yeah, exactly. So it was often improvised, and they would talk about the current political situation in Italy while making jokes and using that simple plot as a starting point.
Yeah, and so a lot of places, they have this tradition of wearing masks at Carnival or Mardi Gras. And part of it, I guess, it's kind of the great equalizer. I think one of the other reasons as well, sometimes there's some revelry which people don't want to be recognized for doing. But I think in another sense, we can tie it really to Lent, that whether you are super rich or super poor, whether you are quote unquote super holy or you think you're super not, whatever, however you measure that, it's not helpful. But anyways, we are in fact all equal, and I think Mardi Gras, the Sacrament of Reconciliation, Lent kind of does actually highlight that in a way.
Do you have a favorite Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday tradition that you've seen?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, actually, it was funny. My family was a bit weird. My grandpa would fry up pancakes on Ash Wednesday because it was like, well, you're not supposed to, we're not eat meat, so we're going to eat the pancakes on Ash Wednesday, whatever. But they were these massive, the size of a medium frying pan pancakes. Those were nice.
Those are my favorite pancakes.
Yeah. But later on, so I joined a religious community, the Congregation of the Resurrection, and our founders are Polish. So we have a little bit of, kind of Polish culture in our community. And there's these things called pączki. One pączek, multiple pączki. It's they're basically like jam-filled donut things. They're pretty tasty. So those are nice. I'm not a huge sweets person, but I will say on Fat Tuesday, when opportunity presents itself, yeah, I definitely like a pączki.
Awesome.
A pączek, actually, I should say.
Good stuff. Okay, Father, I think we're going to wrap it up with our final minute of play, our last minute of play. So, I don't know if you knew this, but in Cars 2, there's a shot where a car pope can be seen in the movie.
Okay.
So they call him the Pope Mobile, which
they actually call him the Pope
Mobile.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So this means that there's a Catholic church that exists in the Cars universe, in the Cars lore, which means that Christianity is a thing in the universe as well.
Okay.
Thus, there must be a Cars Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the big debate that's going on, what would Cars Jesus be named?
What would he be named, or what kind of car would he be?
Or what kind of car would he be?
That's tough. Is there a universal car? I don't know. I know who Cars Mary would be. How about that?
Who's Cars Mary?
I would say Cars Mary would be a Fiat.
Ah!
Yeah, because Fiat.
That's a good one.
In Latin, is
yes.
let it be done to me according to your will. Fiat voluntas tua. So yeah, I would say Mary would be a Fiat.
That's a good
I don't know
one.
what kind of car Jesus would be.
So the general consensus is that people are saying that Jesus would be Jesus Chrysler.
Okay, sure.
Jesus Chrysler.
Okay.
Jesus Chrysler died for the sin of the cars.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And we don't want to show favoritism to one company over another, but yeah. So I'm not sure what kind of car Jesus would be in the Cars universe. I actually haven't even seen any of the Cars movies, unfortunately. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Cars 2. This is a hot take of mine, but I love Cars 2. It was on my iPad as a child when we were driving around Ontario. So Cars 2 is like a spy movie. It's not a race movie. It's a spy movie.
Okay.
The other ones are race movies. All right, Father. I think we're going to wrap it up here.
Okay. Well, happy Shrove Tuesday / Mardi Gras, everyone. And I hope you all have a blessed and holy Lent. We'll catch you next week.
Whoosh. All right, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Catholic After Party. Tell us about your Mardi Gras traditions. You can submit in our question box, or you can comment on our YouTube page. If you have any questions that you'd like to be featured on future episodes, please follow at Catholic After Party on Instagram and submit questions via our link tree. Looking forward to seeing you next time on the Catholic After Party. Today's music is produced by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Thank you for making your chart Funky Chunk available for use. It is licensed under the Creative Commons 3.0.